The LA Chargers get good news after the Super Bowl. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel, fully dedicated to the Chargers, gives you an outsider's look into your team. Okay, here is the good news. But first, let me know in the comments your all-time favorite Chargers wide receiver. You can go obvious with it. Keenan Allen, Allworth, or get a little creative. Give me somebody that we're not really thinking of. Remember Vincent Jackson? Just kind of in that early 2000s that you're just like, let's go. Big dude. I liked him. Okay. Here's the good news. After you watch the Super Bowl, you're like, okay, we're not far off. If you're a Chargers fan, you're like, we're just not. And there's some things we need to do. We're in year one of our rebuild or building phase. And so year one accomplished everything we wanted, built the foundation, culture's there, identified a couple of really good draft picks that we got. Our quarterback is one of the guys. Like, seriously, you've got one of the quarterbacks. So anyway, let's just get to it. Here are 3 moves the Chargers can make to be more like the Chiefs and Eagles. I thought this was just spot on. Number 1, draft one of the top tier tight ends. 100%. You see the tight ends so involved. There's such a matchup problem. You don't know if it's a run or a pass. Now, the good news is, for the Chargers, is that there's Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland in the first round. You could get those guys. Or we've looked at it multiple times on this channel. There's guys in the second round. There's this Arroyo guy from not the Dolphins, the Miami Hurricanes, that was the guy at the Senior Bowl that nobody could cover. 6'6", 250, running routes like is nothing. And it's like, oh, where'd this guy come from? So there are players, there are tight ends all over the place. You got to get one. You will this draft. You just will. Trade for a top-tier wide receiver. We keep talking about this one. You got DK Metcalf out. Or hold on. Yeah. The Chargers version of Brown, A.J. Brown, would be DK Metcalf, who's on the trade block. We know that there's a couple other guys on the trade block. Geez, I can't even think of their names. The dude from San Francisco. What the heck's his name? Just came on the trade block. The dude from the Jets. I can't even think of anyone's name. This is going well so far. The guy on the Jets, Devontae Adams. Geez, thank you. Devontae Adams and the guy from San Francisco, Deebo Samuel. My goodness. So there are top-tier wide receivers that are actually available. Another good news, right? It's one thing if it's like, this is what you need, but where are you going to find them? No, they're actually saying that they want to be traded. Cooper Kupp, I wouldn't put him at a top tier, but something better than what you have. And then draft a center early and sign a former Chief or Eagle. That one, we don't need to do that one, but center early, 100%. Draft interior offensive line. Jim Harbaugh will 100% do that. So think about this. You can draft the tight end now, or in the first or second round, and then draft a center or a guard later, or vice versa. I actually like getting a center or a guard earlier and then get the tight end later because we found that there's more tight ends. The tight end class is deeper than you think. It's better than you think. So it's like, there we go. You made the playoffs in your first year. Remember, the Eagles have been building this. The Chiefs, they have Patrick Mahomes, and they've been building this, and it's a whole culture thing for the last 8 years. It's like, okay, the Chargers can do this. Okay, if you look at it, because again, well, look what everyone's saying. What's one draft pick that they should focus on? Chargers, Colston Loveland. What's one free agent that you should get? Najee Harris, running back. Now, the reason I brought this up is because you go free agent strategic with like a running back, a wide receiver, trade for a top tier wide receiver, draft a tight end, draft interior offensive line, and re-sign Khalil Mack. And you just kind of run it back. And the thing is, your defense showed, and this is what's exciting for me, is like, yes, you need weapons, all this stuff that gets talked about. But at the end of the day, what's going to expedite the rebuild is that the defense can keep you in games and is just well coached it's efficient, if that's a word for defense. It just kind of feels like that's what they are. They don't really give up. They don't give up big plays. They're not out of position. Teams are absolutely, score on them, but they go the long, hard way. The defense keeps you in games, and that's allowing you then to put the resources into the offensive side of the ball, which perfect, right? Perfect. That's what's up. Okay, let me know on this. Now, post Super Bowl mock draft has a trade. Here's what the Colts receive in exchange for they trade with the Chargers. They get to come up to pick 22. The Chargers receive a first-round pick the Chargers receive pick 14 and pick 116. And I'm reading this all wonky. Let me go back up to see what the Chargers do here. Yeah, here we go. I should have read this one better. Chargers move with the Colts and they go up. They get pick 14 and pick 116. Colts get your first round pick, your second round pick, your fourth round pick, and your fifth round pick. Okay, so really you lose you swap first round picks and you have to give a second and a fifth round pick to go up and get a wide receiver out of Arizona. The Chargers could sit back and get a really good wide receiver at 22, which I think they will. But if McMillan is within range, I wonder if they'll make a few calls, especially with 11 draft picks in hand. As for the Colts, general manager Chris Ballard is a scout at heart, and he will know the real value of this draft and having more picks late in the first round and late in the third. I think this is what the Chargers do, actually. They would move back rather than move up and try to get somebody. So I don't like this trade for the Chargers. Yeah. Nope. Okay. Again, looked at this. There the Chargers sit $63 million in cap space, and that'll change and shift as guys gonna officially get off the books and things start to happen. But the more you look at the mock drafts and everything out there, okay, this isn't working. What are we doing? The more you look at the mock drafts, I'll show you one more. It's here we go. I think I showed you this one before, but Kenneth Grant, there's just a good player at 22. That's basically my bottom line. Tyler Booker, interior offensive lineman, Alabama, is going to be around there. Offensive tackles don't really need one, but you got edge players. You've got interior offensive line, Donovan Jackson again. So there's going to be somebody good at pick 22. This rebuild's it's right there. It's right there for the taking. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. And again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see all of you on the next one.